Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Bitcoin will continue to move forward in 2024, says MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor. Next, Bitwise launches crypto ETF media campaign with the most interesting man in the world. Also, Crypto Titans launch 2024 election play with $78 million super PAC spend. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We are a new channel here on YouTube, and would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline is an interview on CNBC with MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor about Bitcoin will continue to move forward in 2024. This was on December 18th.
Joining us now, though, is Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy Executive Chairman and Co-founder. Michael, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Morgan.
I do want to start right there with the regulatory landscape. The fact that Coinbase is now filing a petition in federal appeals court requesting review of the decision by the SEC. Is this the type of situation that could impact Bitcoin or impact the type of work you're doing at MicroStrategy?
No, there's a lot of uncertainty around the rest of the crypto ecosystem, but the one certain element of the ecosystem is Bitcoin is universally acclaimed to be a global commodity or an asset without an issuer. Mm-hmm. So the one thing we can count on is Bitcoin goes forward in the year 2024, and a strategy built around Bitcoin is generally a pretty safe one for institutions.
New rules, speaking of regulations, recently announced by the Financial Accounting Standards Board, the FASB, that are going to require companies to account for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin at fair value. Set to go into effect, these rules, in the next year or so, but companies can begin to apply them earlier than that. How is that going to affect MicroStrategy?
You know, we welcome fair value accounting. It's gonna create much more transparency and clarity in P&Ls and balance sheets for any companies that are holding Bitcoin. I think the real significance is that there are companies like Berkshire Hathaway and Apple Computer that have $100 billion plus in cash. And right now they have to invest it in treasuries and sovereign debt. And with this change in fair value accounting, you're going to have a commodity that's valued as fair value, and it becomes a legitimate treasury reserve asset for publicly traded companies.
Yeah, and we've had that conversation before on the potential for more adoption, although I suspect Berkshire Hathaway is probably not going to be on that list of companies looking to adopt based on commentary there. I do want to get your thoughts, though, on Bitcoin and the rally we've seen just in the last 2 months or so, since early October, up something like 56%. What do you attribute that rally to?
You know, we're going through a digital transformation of everything. Apple represents a digital transformation of telephones and cameras, and Google's the transformation of books and libraries. Bitcoin represents a digital transformation of capital. 99.9% of the capital in the world is tied up in real estate and stocks and precious metals and bonds. And so we're 0.1% transformed. People, as they get educated on digital assets, are realizing that they ought to be allocating more and more of their capital to this digital asset. And so they're moving from 0.1 to 0.2%. And I think that's really driving the trend. I've said before, if Bitcoin's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. The real question is it legitimate asset? If it's a legitimate institutional asset, everybody is underallocated to it.
So along those lines, how much is the possibility of a Bitcoin spot ETF contributing to this recent rally? Geopolitics, risk-on rally that we've seen more broadly across markets amid the Fed pivot, and also next year's halving. Are all of these factors that are contributing?
They're all factors. Education makes a difference. Institutional adoption makes a difference. The spot ETF news is good news. Loosening of monetary policy is good news. Inflation anywhere in the world drives Bitcoin adoption. And of course, the halving is going to cut the available supply of Bitcoins for sale in half from the miners. And so we've got a confluence of very bullish milestones over the next 6 months. And I think smart money is investing into that ahead of it.
I do wonder what you think about the centralization of mining, though, and whether you're concerned, since so much of the crypto community does seem to be flagging it right now.
You know, people focus upon mining pools, but the actual mining is taking place in Bhutan and in Argentina and South America and Texas and Europe and Iceland and Africa, everywhere in the world. And so the miners themselves are very decentralized. They'll remain decentralized because they're chasing after power that's effectively marginally free. And the pools, they will accumulate hash rate from time to time, but they don't really have the power. The power is sitting next to a geothermal or a hydroelectric project somewhere in the world.
Our next top headline, Bitwise launches crypto ETF media campaign with the most interesting man in the world. The ad spot came as the U.S. SEC is looking at multiple spot crypto exchange traded fund applications from asset managers. Actor Jonathan Goldsmith, who appeared as the most interesting man in the world in an advertising campaign for Dos Equis beer, is reviving his persona to promote Bitcoin exchange traded funds for Bitwise Asset Management. In a December 18th post on X, Bitwise released an ad spot with Goldsmith showing the most interesting man in the world in an upscale bar, as he often did in the beer commercials. However, rather than saying his signature, "Stay thirsty, my friends," over a Dos Equis bottle, the actor had a crypto-focused message for viewers. You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends. Here is Bitwise's tweet showing the advertisement.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
Goldsmith appeared in multiple ad spots portraying himself as the most interesting man in the world from 2006 to 2018. The commercials included humorous facts about his character, including he is the only man to ever ace a Rorschach test, and he's on the upgrade list for flights he hasn't even checked into. The actor, age 85, revived the character for a Super Bowl commercial in 2019 and a tequila brand, but the most interesting man has largely been out of the spotlight for years. With the exception of recirculated memes, his promotion of Bitwise came as the asset manager has a pending Bitcoin ETF application with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC has never approved a spot Bitcoin or Ethereum exchange-traded product for listing and trading on a U.S. exchange. The Commission delayed a decision on a spot BTC ETF from Bitwise in August, leading to the asset manager amending its application in September. Large crypto firms sometimes hire prominent figures like Goldsmith to promote their products and services. Although many campaigns are successful, the actors are occasionally subject to lawsuits after a collapse or enforcement action, as was the case with soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo promoting Binance and Tom Brady appearing in ads for FTX. Our next top headline, Crypto Titans launch 2024 election play with $78 million super PAC spend. The crypto industry is trying to back friendly policymakers as it faces intense scrutiny from regulators. A trio of super PAC backed by cryptocurrency executives and investors said Monday that they've raised $78 million as part of a major new push to influence the 2024 elections. The campaign, which has support from venture capital giant Andreessen Horowitz, U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase, and Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, marks of arrival of the digital asset industry's political operations following the downfall of crypto megadonor Sam Bankman-Fried. The goal of the effort is to back candidates who support crypto-friendly policy at a moment when the industry is facing intense scrutiny from federal regulators. One of the group's affiliated super PACs, Fairshake, has already spent more than $1.2 million on television ads backing House candidates. The other two super PACs, Protect Progress and Defend American Jobs, have not yet reported any independent expenditures. This is demonstrating a very serious commitment from the crypto industry to engage in the 2024 elections, Kara Calvert, the head of U.S. policy at Coinbase, said in an interview. The political push comes at a key moment for the crypto industry, which is lobbying for House GOP bills that would help legitimize digital assets and create a new structure for regulating them. The legislation faces hurdles in the Senate and with the Biden administration amid consumer protection and financial crime concerns. Crypto firms are hoping a 2024 shakeup could help swing Washington policy in their direction. Chris Dixon, who leads Andreessen Horowitz's crypto fund, wrote in a blog post Monday that his conversations with lawmakers have made it more apparent that the only way to counteract the lobbies of the big banks and big tech is to show that crypto and blockchain can be a force too. While we won't control how Fairshake spends our donation, we are encouraged by their vision, he said. Andreessen Horowitz announced last week that it will begin spending money to back political candidates. The group's full donor profile won't be public until campaign finance disclosures are released early next year. But an initial list of contributors the group released Monday includes major crypto players including Circle, Kraken, Paradigm, and Ripple, as well as Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong and venture capitalist Ron Conway and Fred Wilson. Separately, Coinbase has also launched a grassroots advocacy campaign, and other pro-crypto super PACs are expected to mobilize in the coming year. The need to ensure that a crypto super PAC is well-funded, has good management, is getting engaged in the right place at the right time has never been more important, Calvert said. Fairshake is going to be an incredibly important part of the political muscle here. So this concludes our top headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.